Hello, fellow learners. Welcome to Maths Bridge. I hope you are all doing good. Thanks for joining with us. We shall continue our learning journey in C programming. Guys, keep up your motivation energy levels to learn new things every day. Without further delay, let's get into today's topic. Shall we? Folks, please do visit us at our YouTube channel Maths Bridge. I'm sure I think you are already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, please do subscribe the channel and then support us. Thank you and then happy learning. Here is our today's agenda. Printf. We all know that a printf statement is a C library, a standard input output function, library function, right? Precisely we can call it as a output function because printf we are using for redirecting a text data onto console. Okay, that is how we studied. Let's see what magics we can do with the printf statement, how the printf is so powerful compared to other functions. That's why printf is most widely used function in our C programming. Let's take a look at this sample program. What I have seen here is that there is a one executable statement like in a printf, and line number 8 is what is given. These are the white spaces. Line number 5 is like a main function starts, end at between 10 and 11. So if you can compile this code, so what you get it is hello world displays on the console. Agree? So this is your output, hello world. So in this context, we are only just displaying a text message, make use of printf library function onto console. But is that all a printf does? Certainly no. There are many more extension features that the printf has, which we were going to discuss today. So far we have seen data types, different data types like a fundamental data types, derived data types, and then user defined data types. Primitive data types, mostly what we always discuss is that int, char, float, double, right? So if at all you are having any variable of this type, then how you are going to use printf function to display them, right? That is one thing that we have to understand. Not just like always like printing a text message, but you are also try to print the value of the variable of whatever the type that you declared in your program, is it? So for instance, these are the printf specifications, and then this is the description. What it does basically tells you, when you use like a percentage of d, that means like a print as a decimal integer. Percentage of f means a floating point, because when you are trying to print the float values using a printf function, that is what you are going to use. For character, u is like a percentage, c is like for the char display, o means like an octal, x means like hexadecimal, s is for string. See, octa, hexa, binary, digit are basically like number system conversions. If you have the decimal number, then you are going to convert into binary number or octal number, hexadecimal number. I'm sure, I think otherwise it's a simple thing that you can look the concept and then find out how it works out. All right. So now if you look at this sample program, I have a variable declared. Variable name is like a num of type integer, also assigned on the same line, means like declaration and assignment is kind of like done in line number 7, int num 65. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to display this value as a decimal, as a float, as a char, as a octa, as a hexadecimal. I just wanted to see like how the conversion takes place using the printf function, right? That's why these are called a conversion specifications for the printf. So all these variable values are getting converted into the format that you ask for. Are you clear? So printf in within the double quotes you are saying a percentage of d comma num. So this variable, the value corresponding to this variable will be printing here for a given format. Now we are asking d and hence it is displaying on the decimal. If it is a float, then it is displaying in the float format. If it is a char, so ASCII character for that number is what you are going to display on the console. In our cases like here, O means like a octal, X means like hexadecimal representation for a given number is what you are going to display them. Okay, if you can compile and run this program on your IDE, then this is how I think your output would be. See, int num65 in line number 9 you are just printing a decimal value which is a 65, right? Given float means like float means, right, we have a fixed number dot decimal number. This is called a float, so it displays a float value something this format. In char means like a what is the equivalent character set within the character set, what is the equivalent char for number 65, which is capital uppercase A is what it is displaying. Okay, octal means like 101. If you can convert a 65 into octal, and this is what the representation 101. Okay, hexadecimal 41. So hexadecimal 41 is equal to decimal 65 is what it is. See, so that means like your printf function is really doing like a lot of conversion math within which you can see the differences for the same variable how you are going to display them all. There is a need for your program, right? So obviously you would need to understand these functions. So nice, right? So that's why printf function is widely used function in C program. Let's look at one more example. You see here I given number as like a num of 0xFFF. If you see any number like this means like a hexadecimal number, but equivalent of decimal number is what it is going to be placed in num. Think about that way because it is an integer type. So but this number if you are trying to display, how the output would be, right? So output is here is this. So if you can convert this hexadecimal number into a decimal number, this value is this much, 65,535. That is what you were displayed on line number 9. If you can convert that into float, all you have to see is like a dot decimal after there is a zeros. That's what you could see here. There is no equivalent character set probably for this number, and hence it gives like an empty for the character. Whereas octa and hex, there is a conversion value which is what you see here in this case. Okay, because I given as a hexadecimal value, I could see similar value here in the line number 13, which is hexadecimal format is what you are asking printf to display. I hope you are clear now, right? Let's see one more fun example. Percentage of d print as a decimal integer is what we so far seen, right? We will do little more understanding of it. Let's say I have three variables declared of type integer num1, num2, num3, and I also assign the certain values like you see this in the screen. But important thing is like every position is kind of like a char value from the character set. So 1 5 this got two chars, 1 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 and all, right? So now I am going to display them. Okay, so what you would expect, actually you would expect the same number to be displayed on your console. Agree? Let me see. Excellent. So I could see this is how it is, but it's look at this format that it displays, right? All are aligned left justification. So start from left and then move to the right. That is how I see. But what if you want would like to format it so that you will see as a position values. Okay, first place, second place, third place, things like that, right? Let's see that example as well. Now that what we can call it as a like percentage of 6d, instead of d you are defined some kind of a number. Print as a decimal integer at least 6 char wide. You are displaying, I mean you are specifying the least character wide is what you would expect printf to display on the console. Okay, if you see this example, same thing, but instead of percentage of d I put like percentage of 6d, then how the output would be? Right justification. Do you see that one? The difference is, previous one is actually you could see like from the left to right. Now you are actually start from left and then move adjustment to the left, right to left, I mean. Clear? So if you can see this is a length, 6 character length is what it displaying. That's why like readjustment has happened with that way. At least 6 character wide is what it occupies on the console. That sort of magic that printf can do for us. Let's try look at previous two examples at one shot. This is what I think we see with the percentage of d, right? And here is an output. What we are saying is print as a decimal integer. Percentage of d is a conversion specification for the printf function. Now what we can do, we will see the second example, same thing, but format with 6d, percentage of 6d. What this means is like print as a decimal integer at least 6 char wide, right? The output would be, so now you know the difference. Having width specifier versus like not having width specifier, how the output gets formatted by printf library function. That's the beauty of the printf statement. Now let's look at a float also, right? Dot 3f. What this means, like print as a floating point at least 3 char wide after decimal point is what it's specifying. So if you could see that example, then you will understand more. Point 2 means like it at least 2 char wide after decimal point. If you say like any number, that is what it means, right? So if you look at this example, I have a float variable assigned with some default value, but after decimal there is a 6 digits. So let's see like how these three printfs is going to display your output. Do you see this one? The first one actually displays as is a complete number because it is not recognized right justification or left justification. By default is a left, that's what it says. You look at now dot 3f. What that means is at least 3 character wide after decimal point, means like the 3 characters is what it is going to display. So it truncated the rest of things. You see the total number is now dot 1 2 3 4 5 6 are gone because you specified dot 3. If you put a dot 2, that means like only 2. See, this basically tells you after decimal how many characters that you would want it to display on console. Clear? Here is one more interesting topic combined together like 6.3f. So there is a 6f and then dot 3f you put together 6.3f. Print as a floating point at least 6 char wide, 3 char after decimal point. That is how you read it. If you look at example, I have a float value. So you could see here, I'm not going to read out, but these are my variant of printf statements. First printf what it does, and let's see that output and then correlate it. Okay, the first one is like there is no justification, default you are saying like f, that means like print as a float value, whatever is given is displaying, but there is a garbage, right? So now in the line number 10, you say like after decimal, you would want it to only print one char, and hence it is printing only one char. If you say like a 6.3, that means like 0.3. After decimal, you are expecting printf to display 3 chars only. So that's why 3 chars. 543, right? It is what it is displaying from here, this location. If we see like nothing, 6.0 means like after decimal nothing. So that is how it displays. But the interesting thing is like, all these cases, right? We are saying like a 6. That means like your total, display width minimum should be 6. So that's why like if you look at a 9877, so two, spaces and then 4 chars. The total width is like a 6. So at least 6 char wide is what you are specifying by saying percentage of 6. Clear? That's what it's. So if you are not, it's very hard for you to see like, why this gap here, right? Because there are zeros and the left side zeros are not going to display on the console. If you would wanted to, display them as zeros, then what you would do, you have to do one more magic called 06. So 6 char wide, what are the characters that it occupies is occupies. The absence of char is nothing but a 0, which is going to be filled by this 0 by using percentage of 0.6. Right now you see, 6 char wide, and then how the number get adjusted. This is like, another powerful, function that the printf does for us. You have to practice more, these sort of examples to understand like, how the printf really format the output from a given input. Because data type conversion is one important topic that one type can be converted into other type. There is no impossible way. It's kind of like a possible for you to actually convert, but there is a certain areas where you see the data loss that we can discuss in the later sessions. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on bell icon and leave the comments. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to upcoming sessions.